You're wrong.
Has
no
to
way.
Be all
luxury products. Things. No, luxury products can never leave. Like if Gucci made a bag wrong. For no luxury product makes an everyday bag where it's
this
like, oh, by the way,
product.
this is. I would absolutely argue Liquid Death is a luxury product. 100% luxury product.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 5th episode of Adtopsy. We were off last week. We were on a COVID vacation of sorts, but now we are mostly back. Our brains are mostly intact. TBD on that. Very special episode. Of course, we have our usual cast of characters. We have Aaron, the regional note taker. No, sorry. Assistant to the regional note taker.
Oh my God, I thought I got a promotion. Okay.
We have Dr. Ike, of course. We also have Dr. Barry, and we also have Dr. Rachel Jackson here. And our very special guest, we have the man himself, the e-com economist, the man spending 6 figures a month on Jordans, the CMO and fourth whale at Triple Whale, and the person keeping Austin weird, Rabah Rahil. How are you doing?
Oh man, I gotta step up my intros. That's impeccable. That was really strong. Did you just freestyle that, or that you put some thought into that?
I'm learning from the master, or maybe the student has become the master.
The student has become the teacher. That was insane. I love the alliteration was just rolling over me like waves of awesomeness. Well done, sir. And I think we can chalk it up. No brain fog, no long haul COVID over here, mister. That was heat.
I'm in the clear. For those that don't know you, and I don't know who that is, but Rabah, what is your deal?
Yeah, nothing. I actually wanted to be an investment banker, didn't. And then I started getting into tech, got really nerdy, and basically kind of, if you've seen Slumdog Millionaire, I learned all these like disparate skills that finally coalesced as the CMO of Triple Whale. So I've spent on app install ads, DTC ads, built websites. I was a photographer at one point in time in my life. I'm just a man of the people trying to get it done.
Yeah. And one of the things I love about you the best, Rob, is your breadth of experience is reflected in your critical thinking about topics. And that is very apparent if anyone's listened to you for more than 5 minutes or something.
Oh, amazing. What is this? Is a hype man? Who bribed you? I gotta tell Colin, good work here. I'm gonna have to walk through the door sideways now. My head's just too big.
Full disclosure, you also pay the sponsorship bills.
So, and it all comes out. Oh,
there it is.
He's just buttering you up.
I need to pay you more for this. This is incredible. We'll sauce you a little more on this episode.
Yeah. So, well, we got a lot going on in this episode, so let's sort of just dive right in it. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So some quick housekeeping. The last giveaway didn't really go so well because the person never really sort of got in touch with us. So I'd like to do another giveaway of this forbidden merch that we have here. I don't know if you can see it. I have it like right here. Where is it? Here it is.
How can you miss it?
How can you miss it? It is absolutely ridiculous. I just tweeted about it. There's some little controversy on whether it's too ridiculous or not. I think it's that the jury is still out on that. But if you want to win this particular hoodie, leave a comment below, and that's just basically your entry.
Do you have these in shirts as well?
I don't. Could be.
Okay. Well, because we have a T-shirt wall, and we only usually do clients on the T-shirt wall, but this is a work of art.
This is something.
We'll talk offline.
It's something.
It's something.
Yeah, I think that's
It's your vibe attracts your tribe, and I don't think this is the vibe of most of the people on this call, except maybe you, Rabah, and myself.
Yeah,
so.
No, I'm into it.
And then, so the other thing I wanted to do is I'm always trying to improve the show. So if maybe we can do like a really quick brainstorm on different things we could do, or how to mix it up a little bit. That would be interesting. Does anyone have any ideas, putting anyone on the spot?
Yeah, I think you should have Barry pick pick the ads one time.
Yeah.
I also think no one should look at them ahead of time on an episode, and it's just all live. Whatever comes out, comes out.
I'd like to do a platform specific episode, like a TikTok only or a YouTube only.
I'd like to get Rachel a better microphone.
Ooh,
I
zing.
second
Me
that. I
too.
second that. Maybe some static ads. I saw that in a comment on one of the past
Oh, that would be
Oh,
Adtopsies.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yep. Good. All right. So we'll sort of make these happen. So let's move into the very first one. Patient number 18. The brand is Naked and Thriving.
Same.
Well, yeah. you said it before me, Rachel.
So we have two ads here. They're both from the same agency. This guy Saeed, follow him on Twitter. He's pretty smart. His agency is like Venture and Beyond. I guess they do like 300 creatives per month. Sounds a bit like overkill, and also maybe giving Aaron like heart palpitations trying to manage that. But we do have two ads. One of them performed well, and the other one performed not so well. So
this again.
So the reason why I wanted to do this, first of all, I think it's fun. I don't think we do it like multiple times, but I wanted to give us a chance to redeem ourselves a little bit. Because the last time we did this, the first one where it was like a brand ad versus a non-brand ad, that was kind of it was almost a little bit of a trick because I almost knew what you guys would pick. These are both very direct response and they're a little bit different. So we should be able to figure out which one is working and which one isn't.
Keyword should be.
By the way, can we talk about why I'm in hell here? Are we not going to address that?
We're not going to address that.
Okay.
You've done a lot of sins in your life, Barry.
I in the previous episode got a lot of things wrong, and I have gone to this dark place, and hopefully I'll redeem myself today.
You and everyone else, Barry. You might not see the beginning of the episode. The quotations came out for everyone's doctor status.
Rachel and I got one right, or no.
No,
You didn't
I
get
got
it.
both
Oh,
wrong.
I
I'm
got
just not
one right.
making it a
Hold
thing.
on.
Barry's really making it a thing.
So wait a second. I was demoted and I'm in hell. What the hell?
Yeah,
Well,
Not
yeah.
fair.
This
To be
is
fair,
this is the bar to get your license back. So
to be fair, I think a quoted doctor is still higher than an economist, but we'll leave that. We'll leave that where it is.
okay, just a quick sound check. Can you guys hear this?
You need this naked and thriving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here is the first ad. It's 34 minutes long. Let's watch it.
You need this naked and thriving Renew night serum in your life.
Immediately my skin feels glowy, it feels hydrated, it's smooth, it's soft.
I'm telling you, you are not going to recognize your face in the morning.
Okay, we have internalized that one.
Jess, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Are these the thumbnails that were set on the video, or are they just kind of
These are
random,
not
like the
the
first
thumbnail.
frame? Okay,
These are the video files.
tracking.
Yep. All right, here's the second one. It is 46 seconds long. Let's play it.
After turning 35, I noticed my skin was a little bit drier, a few lines were popping up here and there, and I just wanted my skin to be healthy and moisturized. I've tried organic skincare products before, but I just couldn't seem to find the right one until I found Renew. Contains ingredients like hyaluronic acid and other super ingredients that come from fruit. It's also free of synthetic fragrances, parabens, and over 2,000 harmful chemicals. I'm already noticing how smooth and moisturized and healthy my skin is now. I feel like the future of my skin is looking very bright thanks to Renew.
Okay, here we go. Aaron, are you in the notes Taking notes.
Betcha.
All right, perfect. All right, so does everyone know which one they're going to pick?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, everyone.
I'm struggling.
It's challenging. So everyone who thinks this first ad, the one on the left, was the top performer, raise their hand. No one.
Goose egg. Has that happened before? Is that a record?
Yeah, it happened last time.
Oh,
And
we all
everyone
got
was,
it wrong.
we all got it wrong.
We are
And we're all
all
wrong.
right. We all got it right.
Right. So I'm assuming everyone thinks the one on the right is the correct one.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. We are getting very good at being wrong here because the correct ad is the one on the left.
You gotta be
No.
kidding me.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Really?
We're gonna
Yes.
get canceled.
Yes.
Erroneous.
But
Erroneous.
I think there's a very specific reason, and it's very hard to tell what that reason is because this second ad is like, I think it's better, that it's tighter, it's the better sound. This person is better, and this one's just kind of janky. And I think there was even like some like weird audio hiccups, or it's just kind of sloppy or whatever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think this one didn't perform is because it's one person and it's a person of color. It's one type of person.
That's
And,
fair.
and so if you're watching this, like, people want to see themselves in an ad. And I think it's important to have diversity in an ad. But if it's only one type of person, then the person's going to think that that product is only for that particular type of person. And that might, reduce the audience size, or certainly change up the targeting, or be against what, the data that's in the account here. Whereas this one, there's multiple types of people. There's old people, there's young people, there's white hair, there's lots of different age ranges. So you could watch this and be like, I can see myself in this. Where you could watch this and be like, maybe I'm not a person of, is this a product for people of color? Because there's a lot of skincare and there's a lot of hair care that's very much like that. And that's not really resolved here. Does anyone have any thoughts?
I think you're spot on. I also think that the one that lost had a better offer, right? It's a totally different offer because you're getting some free stuff.
Yeah, was the offer in the?
No, this one's just CTA with Shop Now.
Well, it's hard to say the offer because like it's the end card. Like, I'm not sure the end card. Maybe
Impactful.
Yeah, but
It would have been it might have been in the copy as well.
Yeah, you're right. You're right as well.
It is really interesting, Jess. You make the point about diversity, and we actually talk about it. We talk about that point a lot from like the opposite perspective, where if you're looking to scale and find, like different horizontal audiences and that kind of thing, we 100% recommend, different types of people, and like, let's add some men into the mix. Like, let's add, it as a gifting, and let's add different pitches. It's interesting that strategy didn't necessarily work, especially since her read is good. It's a lot of different types of shots. It's very, it feels emotional. I love this note after turning 35, because to me that's like, oh, if I'm over 35, I'm instantly listening. That's interesting. Yeah.
The other thing is, skincare. We did work on a skincare brand, and it's not difficult. The pitch is not difficult. It's like, we'll get rid of wrinkles, and it works. And I think you do need to get to that very quickly. This starts off where it's the best serum I tried, which might work if people are already looking for serums, or already in the market for serums, which is a little bit lower funnels, where this one is much higher funnel. Pretty much everyone is looking to reduce lines and wrinkles and stuff like that. So this doesn't get into the wrinkles until later, and you kind of have to like be in the story a little bit, where this is obvious.
Can I pile on to your exclusionist narrative as well? Like, I don't know the demographics of skincare stuff, but like that 35 line could be a bug or a feature, where it could be a bug for people that are under 35 and they're not a person of color. Instantly, this is not for me. I'm already out of the targeting or the buying pool.
I made a decision when I was looking at these based on the first moment of both, which is that in the top third of each of these, on the left, it says Naked. It says the brand name.
Yep.
It says
Terrible.
Naked and Thriving. And on the right, it says this is the best serum I've tried, which I was like, all right, best serum I've tried. I don't think anyone cares about that, but at least it's like native looking and it's, an I statement and it's relatable. And I was like, the thing on the left is a logo. But here's the thing that I'm backtracking on. Even though it's a logo in the top third, the first thing that scrolls into frame, it is an interesting name of a company where, like, even if you didn't know, that this was especially if you didn't know this was the name of a brand, that those two words are actually fundamentally thumb stopping. Just the word naked will get a lot of people to stop scrolling in their newsfeed, I think, in general, like any reason. So that very well could be something that's working in favor of them. And by the way, I love the idea that there's like someone who would roll that into some macro learning of like, oh yeah, put my logo in the top of the frame. Got it. I'm very specifically saying I think this only might work for brands that have a word that is, understandable to everyone. Whereas like if you're Warby Parker, I don't think that would be valuable.
Yeah. That's a great point. And that the name can be a huge asset. And if they have thumbstops where someone was like, I started going naked and thriving, and it's like, I need to resolve what the fuck you're talking about there. Because that is really weird. That's an interesting point.
I just want to get it on record that Barry is advocating to make the logo bigger. Come on, guys. Tough crowd today. Tough crowd.
The logo, but I love what you're saying. But yes, the word. Yes,
I'm teasing.
Sure.
I'm teasing.
Great. I love it. I'm being you now. I love it.
Does anyone have any thoughts about? So this is a very common thumb stop where it's like a reverse. Does it matter? I mean, this was the ad was better performing. Is that better than this?
It's all like a give and take, right? If you have a bad hook, but the rest of your video is works, or if you have a great hook and the rest of your video sucks, like one can make up for the other. It's hard to know, and it's not like just that black or white. It's all shades of gray all the way down. So it's hard to say.
Look at these first few words. Like, the more I'm just looking at the word serum, and like serum, I guess it's not emotional or interesting. Fine lines and wrinkles, that is the emotional and interesting thing. Serum is just like, it's also in like the skincare world, that is such like a it's like such a secondary sort of product. It's not like, oh, just a moisturizer or whatever. So it's just, it also makes you think, oh, I'm not a serum person, so this is too advanced for me, so it's not for me. I don't know, versus fixing the problem of fine lines and wrinkles, and you do anything to fix that.
I think serum in general is like kind of vague. Like face serum could be multiple things.
Right.
You don't know what it's fixing until you talk about the fine lines and wrinkles.
But it specifically to me signals something I have to buy. Not like I have to buy it, but like you don't like have serums at home like laying around. Like it's signaling to me that by using the word serum, you're like saying this is a product that you can buy, which is signaling that it's an ad, right? Like no one, your friends aren't
too
talking
early.
about serums. Yeah.
I personally, I hate the line "I've tried." It's such a weird qualifier because just because you haven't tried everything, that like, I don't know who you are, so you don't have any really clout with me. And then I've tried. What if there's a bunch of awesome stuff out there that you haven't tried? Like, it doesn't like, so that to me is just a terrible line where it's the best, serum out there or what have you. But like the "I've tried" bothers me a little bit. And maybe I think
a lot of people fall for that.
But
a lot of people fall for that. I mean, I think so. I agree with you. It's not that strong
because it qualifies it, right? Like just because like it's that line of like, just because I haven't experienced it means it doesn't exist. It's like, that's a really terrible mental model.
it's also a weak word for someone who's supposed to be really into it. Like I would never be like,
Amazing.
Liquid Death is the best water I've tried. It's like, I'm like 100% into this brand and I drink all the time. I'm not going to be like, I tried it and I liked it,
This serum changed my life or something like that, where it's like impactful
changer.
and personal. And like, like the tried, I think, is just such a terrible qualifier.
Change the game.
To going back to this reverse thing, even though that this ad worked better, I don't think the thumbstop or the reverse has anything to do with it. I think these are just a waste of 3 seconds. And I think we're getting to a point where the only thing that has like these reverse shots in it now are ads. And it's like, it's very clear signifier. If you see this all the time, that's like, okay, here's an ad. Or like, I just feel like we're getting to a point where it used to be native, but now ads have used it so much that it's almost we're at the line where it's more ad related than native these days.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm seeing a lot less boomerangs in my feed, and it's more like, oh, but I feel like advertisers still 100% use boomerangs as like in their editing.
You need this naked, thriving, renew.
Also, what is this woman's voice?
That like Australian accent or something.
I think that's
The
what
worst.
threw me in the first place is the terrible read and sound quality.
Sound quality is awful.
But we were wrong.
Make ugly ads. Shout out Barry Hop.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say about all of these. We could also, if like Jess pulled the rug on us right now, it's like, actually, it's actually right. And then now we have to defend our, the other side. Like we could all do that. I am at a point where I genuinely don't trust the data that we're like, if whoever gave this to us was like, oh yeah, this one was much better. It got a $10 CPA, but the one on the right had a $15 CPA, but one of them spent 100 times more than the other. Like that is a huge factor. Or if they could be telling us it's based on like CPC. So I'm just saying, I don't trust a lot of people in marketing on their judgment of what they say is best performing. So I would not. I'm sorry.
Can we
to
get
say
very little tinfoil hat and like look into it? Like birds are not real.
It should
Your
be
background
triple
should be
whale.
the birds are not real ban.
It should be triple whale qualified. We need screenshots.
Hey, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Let's go. Proud sponsor.
Wrong sponsor. Darn it.
Right. So just talk about our sponsor real quick. We've talked a lot about the Foxwell Founders group. Robert, are you in there?
Yeah, it's sensational.
Yeah.
So I think the death of Facebook groups have happened, and this is the place to be. It's very good.
Yeah. And I think one value of a lot of groups, particularly this one, which doesn't get brought up, is like when Fire Team's looking for like a new employee or an employee for one of our brands or, a contractor, I'm not posting on Indeed or whatever. It's just garbage. And if you don't have like a great network existing to reach out to, these communities are amazing networks to like, post what you're looking for. And it's not even just that you'll find people in there that want the job, but you'll find people in there that want to help find placement for that particular role. And I found that a lot with this Foxwell group.
Well, in hell, where all we have are crappy Facebook groups, I can't find anyone to hire. So it's an absolute nightmare. So yeah, definitely would recommend the Foxwell Founders for any number of reasons. That is better than these awful Facebook groups that I've been in for years.
100%. It is a sensational group. And I will add on, hiring's really hard. A buddy of mine just posted on LinkedIn, and literally the resume submission was a Rickroll GIF.
Yeah, it's like one
I told
click.
him to hire. It was so bad.
Hired.
So bad.
Hired.
Okay, so moving on to patient number 19, Jones Road Beauty.
Never heard of them.
Never. Very interesting brand. Cody is a smart guy. When they do things from the brand perspective, which is interesting. I'll say that one caveat to looking at the Jones Road account or even Cody's general advice is that this brand has a massive asset that your brand does not have. It has one of the most influential person in cosmetics as its founder. She's great on camera, and it's sort of like running with, like a hurricane force tailwind at your back. So what works for Cody may not work for everyone else, to keep that in mind. But on the flip side, I do respect Cody and what he's doing with Jones Road, and they have kept a line with their branded ads, and it what a Jones Road ads looks like. It does not look like the cosmetic ads from above, like every other ad, So let's try and watch this ad. I don't know if there's a top performer or not, but with that,
I think we know that it was a top performing hook. I think he's confirmed that, at least on Twitter before.
Yeah. I mean, the ad account, it's almost all white labeled or whitelisted from Bobby herself. So interesting to note. But let's take a look at this one here. Are you comfortable with this, Rabah?
I figured this is a plant. This is the insert that gift. This is bait.
Okay, so this is like almost 2 minutes. So they should be a sponsor, but let's just get into it.
I've been looking for a product like this my whole life. We were all putting it on, looking in the mirror, and we're like, oh my God, this is a friggin' miracle. That's why it's called Miracle Balm. So here's the color breakdown. Au Naturel has no color. I use this all the time. It has luminosity just from the moisture content. This is tawny. It really cuts the yellow in my skin. It's got a really nice bronze with just a touch of red in it. This is bronze, and this has a little bit of golden to it. Women that have red in their skin, this cuts the redness. Dusty Rose, such a beautiful color. It really does enhance a lot of skin tones, makes fair women look like they have the perfect pink blush on, and it makes darker skinned women have the perfect little highlight. Sun-Kissed is the perfect color to add a tint to the skin. They want a little bit of highlight. This also looks incredible on the lips. When you blend it in really good, it gives a really nice tint, but it is the perfect color for darker skin. Flushed is that pop of color that everyone was asking me for. This is such a beautiful pop. It looks good on anyone. Magic Hour has become my new go-to. I always have one in my bag. When you really want just some luminosity, you want a little bit of highlight, a little bit of shine, I put this on and I'm like, okay, I look better. I love that end of the day golden light, especially in the summer. Golden Hour makes you look like you're basically on a beach at the end of the day. So I love Miracle Balm. It doesn't require a lot of skill. It doesn't require a lot of time. And honestly, this is the reason I started Jones Road.
So, certainly studio shot, certainly branded captions, all that type of stuff that normally we would say not to do. But does anyone have any thoughts on can this ad be improved? Are they doing the right things? Why might this ad be working?
I guess I'll go ahead.
No, you first.
Thank you. No, I mean, I've run accounts with Oprah, literal Oprah. Like it sounds terrible. It just can't be understated. Like when you have the Oprah in your industry opening up the shot, like it's pretty hard to miss. And then the other thing that I really like is that you can see and get the curiosity because you see like kind of what you were talking about previously, a few minutes ago, Jess, of like this foreshadowing of like, oh, you're going to talk about this, like, you don't know what she's going to talk about, but you can see it. And then furthermore, I know they used to, I don't know, I haven't chatted with Cody obviously in a while, but they run a lot of quiz ads. And so if this went to a Quizlander, it's a perfect example because you have this visual representation of all the possible solutions, and you don't even have to watch the whole video. In the first 3 seconds, you get everything. And then if you're an OG and you want to see the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, I think there's just again, you can't really diminish the celebrity vector. And then I do like the foreshadowing of showing it. And shout out to Bobby. Look at that flexibility. Incredible, right?
She's outstanding.
Yeah. She seems like a gem of a human. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
I want to double down on something you said. In addition to the like celebrity, it's also authority. Like she's not just that she's a celebrity, she's an authority figure in this space. Right.
Can I flip that on you? Because she's a celebrity because she's an authority. So it's almost as two sides of the same coin, where it's not like she's famous for being this makeup guru. Right. So like that her celebrity is at the same time an authority. So yeah, 100% with you. Right. Because whereas if this was just like some celebrity doing this, it wouldn't be valuable. It's that she is a celebrity and she is an expert, right? But beyond anyone else in this space, really, right? The expert, effectively. So that 1-2 punch is something, I don't know another example where you can have something like that. It's so rare.
She's an influencer, or she's exactly, Aaron. She is a authority in a way that an influencer almost can't be. It's just she's so OG, so like warm and approachable, and it's so hard to think about if this video was shot with anyone else, would it do as well?
I feel like a lot of celebrities are like, it's like, okay, yeah, there's the fame and the recognition, but I think what sets her apart is that it's like she feels like me. Like I look at her and I'm like, cool, I don't want to hang out with her. Like she just seems super like down to earth and approachable, and I just feel like you may not get that from another celebrity, so I think that's also intriguing about her.
I think a third thing on top of like the celebrity and the expertise is like this demonstration that she's doing too. She talks about it, and then it's like the expertise demonstration of like how to apply to the lips, how to apply to the cheeks. So it's like you get everything wrapped up in one nice package.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Rabah.
Oh, sorry, I keep cutting her off. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I just going back to Barry's Birds Are Not Real. I'd love to see the watch curves here, like the video watch times, because I guarantee like there's probably nobody watching past X, Y, or Z.
I disagree. I disagree.
Oh, you disagree?
So first of all, Cody is definitely
show us the receipts,
really
Cody.
Cody's definitely mentioned us. He has shown like I recall seeing a screenshot of one of his accounts or him talking about seeing really long watch times. Now, if he was optimized to video views, then that's, that would skew that. But I was watching this, and unlike some of these other long ads we've watched, I was not getting bored. The pacing is really quick, and there's more and more and more and more and more, and it is worth watching, especially if you're interested in this. Like, can you go to the 1 minute mark? I want to see how quick the cuts are around here. Let's see. So the cuts are slowing down here, whereas at the beginning it was cut. But there's still a lot of interest visually. There's so much going on. It's really, really like the editor is really the champion here, I think.
Well,
I don't know.
I'll disagree a little bit, because I did get bored.
Super bored,
particularly past the minute mark. And I think
it's not for us. It's not for you.
I was gonna say
no,
you're
this
not
is for me.
No,
this is for me.
This is for me.
Sorry, I did not mean to. I didn't mean to offend.
How dare you?
Well, let me just say how it could be improved, because I see all these things, and there's like 9 of them, and she's going through them, and in my mind I'm like, fuck, there's like 9 of these things and they're all the same. I think around the 45-second mark or the minute mark, do like some pattern interrupt that's different. So I know that there might be something beyond just more of the same.
I agree.
Okay, here's one thing I'll say. If it was anyone else, maybe I would agree with you, but I actually want to know what Bobby thinks about golden magic hour versus
100%.
flush. I want to know why
100%.
what is Bobby's opinion on why these are perfect for a certain sort of person.
Yep.
If I'm in the market for Miracle Balm, I want to know which Miracle Balm works for me. Which color should I buy?
Right.
And I kind of want to have her opinion on it. But if it was someone else, maybe not, I guess.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I think she's the only reason why it could sustain a minute 47 and going through 9 different types of makeup. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't think the editor really is doing anything to, keep us entertained for 2 minutes. It's strictly her.
But back to your point, Rachel, I think this ad is using a technique that we love to use, and it's not really talked about a lot, but we call it the funnel skip, where if this is top of funnel, you do not frame it as, should I buy Jones Roads? You frame it as, which Jones Roads should I buy? And it's like you just automatically, they're just in a different frame of mind where they've skipped over the should I buy it or not. And if you're watching past 20 seconds here, you're thinking, which one should I buy, not should I buy it.
You're in you're in research mode. I agree with you. I am. The one thing I just really struggle with, and I've gotten a million Miracle Bomb ads. I've actually been to the website and looked at Miracle Bomb. I unfortunately still don't know what it does. And I'm not sure what the product is. And maybe I just like haven't paid a lot of attention, but I'm wondering if that should be in here a little bit more, or somewhere, or in text, or in like a caption, or you could be missing people, I guess, at the top of the funnel if I don't quite know what a Miracle Bomb does. Or maybe the mysteriousness of it is attractive and that gets clicks. But yeah, that's one thing I have struggled with.
I almost wanted like some reactions to the people that she was applying the makeup to. Just a little breakup, so you do like get almost a description of what it's doing, but it's not just one person. As great as she is, she really is amazing, but just to break it up cognitively just a little bit would have some of those people react. I thought that would be effective.
I definitely like the ASMR kind of like finger into it at the beginning. That was strong.
Yeah, that was good.
It's that, by the way, I think we've heard from him before that's their best visual hook, and that makes sense. A few things: one, it's hard to tell what it is, so it kind of, I think, creates some curiosity. Two, it's kind of satisfying, weirdly satisfying. Three, you don't know if it's a food product. I think I've said this to Cody before. A lot of what's worked well, I think, for them visually is that people are hungry and they think it's like different puddings or desserts, I think, at first. And I think that genuinely has worked well in their favor, because even if that gets your attention and then it pivots to makeup for the right person, that doesn't matter. And there was something else there. Oh, I found just quick Twitter research through 2 days ago. I think Cody was mentioning seeing some videos with 16-second average watch times, which is massive. I don't think I'm used to seeing above 10. So, and that happens when you have longer videos, but that also means that
I was just going to get to you there. So I would rather see the percentages versus the average watch time, because there might be 78 people that watch the whole thing. And so averages can be thrown off by outliers. So that's my only little pushback there, but very, very good sleuthing, Barry. That's quick sleuthing there.
Yeah, that's what
all right. So I do want to get to the last patient here, but quickly talking about our sponsor, Triple Whale. Maybe Rabah, you could take this one, but very, very particular, like the creative cockpit, because we don't have access to it. We don't use it. We use the creative dashboard, which is.
We got to get you on.
Yeah,
you don't have access?
I know. It's like, what's going on?
We'll get you in. We'll get you. What? That's an absolute oversight.
So one of the reasons why we're not in or don't use it is because I don't know what it does. So can you like help me out here?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's a creative dashboard just on steroids. So better visuals, better metrics, being able to slice and dice how you're looking at things. And so a lot of people run ads either in terms of like funnels or angles or whatever. So it just gives you a really easy way to slice and dice and then see things across a time series. So for example, like you might have angle 1 with Bobby, angle 2 without Bobby, angle 3 super strong ASMR, and then you can see how those are actually performing against each other. Another thing you could do is possibly influencers. So I have Jess, Barry, etc. as these influencers, what influencer ads are doing better, and then you can just kind of slice and dice it. So it's just basically a super augmentation of not only a really fancy coat of paint, but also some other deep dive metrics that you can kind of slice and dice, just like the creative dashboard, but much better, much heavier in terms of analysis, a lot more time series stuff that you can plot against. You have a dual axis graph that you can plot 2 different metrics across to see some correlations there, and a bitchin' icon. So I mean, what more do you need, Jess? We'll get you
Very
on.
cool.
Yeah, we'll get it in and we'll review
100%.
it. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your takes on it.
Look at this
Whoa.
ad. 45 ROAS. That's the Rachel effect.
Rachel.
The authority in this
$1.88 spend. Yeah, this is the best performing ad in the account. It must be.
Top
Amazing.
performer. Top performer.
Comp it.
Hey, can I say something else about that Jones Road? I know we already passed it, and I'm sorry.
Give it up, Eric.
And you wonder why you're in hell.
Just one more thing.
Look, Cody posted a Twitter thread recently that I'd recommend everyone go check out. That actually covers a lot of what's working well in that, I'm assuming, that ad and others. And it talks a lot about specifically how that ad is filled with education and value. And the biggest note that I wrote that I didn't get to mention is that fundamentally what that ad is a piece of actual interesting content rather than an ad. And that is why it can work as an ad. It's worth watching for a lot of people, and it's not actively selling that much.
Okay.
So,
Well, here we have two ads from Liquid Death that are not actively selling either. These are both not direct response ads. So they're different. And so let's just take a look at both of them. Here is
that shirt.
I bet you do.
Jess, where were these run? On Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah. Most of the ad account is merch ads.
Anecdotally, I've bought more merch than I have water from them.
Yep.
oh my God.
All right, so here's the first one, 30 seconds. Wow.
My
I mean,
God, that was
Take
a
all my
lot.
money.
I love
all
it.
my
So
I love every
good.
second of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
let's talk about why it's good. I'll start and I'll say that liquid, water is a commodity, whatever. And there's no like nothing with Liquid Death's going to work that's like us versus them, but absolutely
They did
this
do
is
that.
yeah.
That's the whole point. Kill plastic.
But I don't think people care about the plastic or whatever. I think Liquid Death is 100% an identity play, and
100% with you. Status identity.
And the power of cool people doing cool shit tied to your brand is uncalculable, and that is absolutely what is going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to build off of that, that's exactly when Barry and I, shameless plug, when he came on ad spend, that is exactly like I would consider Liquid Death a luxury product, and there's no utility vector in Liquid Death. It's absolutely a status play. And the more they lean into it, this and Vacation Inc. are two of my just huge brand crushes because they're unerring. They absolutely, like, you had to sell your soul to get something. There's just all these things, and they'll run ads of people like, fairly religious people being mad about these things, or like, it's so like, they just lean into it so heavy and own it that I'm totally with you. It's an absolute status play, and it's definitely a luxury product. And I don't know, I think it's a 12 out of 10. And you got puppies? How do you get
By
this
the way,
status?
the first time, Rabah, I think the first time we met on video was on Charlie's coffee, and you and I both had Liquid Death cans.
Yeah, shout out
and
Sticks.
we like cheers each other, like coincidentally, because it's like you said, it's kind of a status symbol. I'm very mad I don't have one in my office and at my desk right now. I'm so mad. But like this ad further establishes that, and it's only making it more of a lifestyle, more of a brand. And having worked on and launched like a hard seltzer, Lone River Ranch Water, like we did that somewhat too, not to this extent by any means, but there are people that like are big fans of ranch water. They like have ranch water in their wedding photos, like cans, they're cheersing with it. And like, it's this like status symbol, and it's really exciting. And for this, to me, Liquid Death, if you wrap a Liquid Death shirt or Liquid Death hat, if I see that, I know you have a sense of humor. I know that you are an interesting person. You're probably not boring. And this ad helps illustrate that. Like, these are not boring people. They like doing cool stuff. Ergo, buy Liquid Death, makes you cool. Like,
I totally
so
agree.
good.
I think this is like a prime example of how this brand has grown past just the water, right? I think they show the actual cans of water like twice. The rest of it is shots of people in the hoodies and the hats, the sweatshirts. It's just like, I want all of this product.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to have these two ads is because I think this is a great ad that was almost certainly done in-house by people that understand the brand 100%. Last time we talked about copyrighted music, and this music here is like, I was like, what is that? So I Shazammed it, and the song is called Get Slaughtered on Shark Tank by Liquid Death. So it's their own song.
Were they on Shark Tank?
Even more. I love them even more. They're writing their own death metal.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right.
Wait,
So
were they on Shark Tank? Do I?
No.
I have no idea.
Because that if they're going to be, and that's their like walk-on music, that's
their WWE entrance music.
Unreal.
Right. So
one last point, Jess,
Yep.
too. To your exclusivity point of the bad serum ad, there's literally old people, young people, people of
Yep.
color, women, all
Yes.
sorts of lifestyles, like everybody. Like, you can be a suit
Dog.
and want to have Liquid Death. You can be a dog and want to have Liquid Death. You can be a punk rocker. You can be a normal person. You can be a person of color. You can have braids.
Yep.
Every single person, like, it shows you that you can consume this product agnostic of who you are. Like, the product gives you your identity. Your identity doesn't make you consume the product.
yeah, the tying thread, all different types of people. The tying thread is that they're all cool. They're all objectively cool people, like myself and Rabah, because we buy into the brand.
Exactly.
So
yeah, okay.
Okay, so great example of an ad that totally gets the identity. This, I think, is a great example of what happens when you hire an agency that doesn't know the brand whatsoever. So let's just take a look.
Uh-oh.
Travis Polson isn't a water boy. He's a hydration assistant. They don't get the contracts. They don't get the brand deals. They don't get millions of fans screaming their name. Until now. Because without water, pro athletes would all be dead. And no athletes means no football. And no football means no America. So Travis Polson isn't just a hydration superstar. He's a god.
This is great also.
You think so?
I fundamentally do, because it's a parody.
You didn't know that till the end. You didn't know that till the end. And that's what was my big pushback. I actually liked it now that I figured it out. It was a Nike parody. But instantly when I heard symphony music with Liquid Death, I could not think of something more antithetical than like a symphony and orchestra and Liquid Death. Like, absolutely
and football too.
0%
It's talking about a water boy.
0% out.
But buttoned up polos. Like, this is not the cool guy anymore.
This is
I do like the ad though. I think it's like a clever, funny thing.
Yes.
But I don't know if maybe another water brand it would work for. I don't know.
This works well for Liquid Death. This is hilarious. You're all wrong. But this would be a terrible performing Facebook ad. Awful.
So
because of everything you all said. I agree.
So
like,
just
very bad.
Just some context. They did do this thing where they signed a water boy to like $100,000 thing. They made this YouTube video where it's just a full-on combine of like water boys doing the thing or whatever, which I think is interesting, but I also think it's which is funny, but I also think it's cool. Not the Liquid Death brand, because it wasn't like ironic enough, and it feels like it's almost trying to go into the hydration thing, but in no case would you use Liquid Death for hydration on the field.
Of course not. But that's not what they're suggesting.
To me, what this means is we need NFL watching guys to drink liquid death,
and
that's
pandering.
why they would drink it. But they wouldn't. But they would. Yeah, I think the problem is that if they're trying to get if they're trying to grow more and more, they need other types of people who don't identify with the hard rock metal thing, and so you have to do this.
Yeah,
exactly.
This screams like expansion to me.
Yeah,
Right?
Yes.
Trying to scale
their audience.
Yeah. So you could run content alongside sports.
And in that case, if we are strictly trying to scale, I think that is a successful angle. But it does go against what got
at the expense of their core, which is dangerous game to play. I think
it can be cannibalistic.
This is not at any expense. It's still winking. It's still parody. It's still funny.
I did not get the wink. I did not get it.
0% got the wink.
It's appealing to like the chive and the what's the Portnoy guy? Whatever. Barstool? Like it's appealing to those audiences,
but it's appealing to this guy on the left.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
I'm off your bus.
They're different
Barry.
people in different audiences in different places. This is horizontal scaling.
I think Andrew is right in the sense of like the right? No, I still
yeah. You got it.
Oh,
use my Christian name.
Ike. Okay, sorry. I'm not.
That's not your fault.
I'm a first timer. You got to put that in the nameplate.
Yeah, he really does.
I don't use Zoom. I don't use Zoom.
Exactly. You see?
Yeah.
I think in terms of like the execution, the concepting, like that's a really fun concept. Everything makes sense, but I just think it's just so misaligned with the brand. Like I get what Jess is saying. Like this is a play off of the NFL Combine thing, which is actually fairly like that makes more sense to me. But like as a standalone ad, I think it just absolutely mitigates and obviates all of the awesomeness that Liquid Death stands for, and it's trying to carve out like a new market, which I get what you're saying, Barry. I just like as a Liquid Death purist and like an old man, get off my lawn. This is horrible.
Guys, look, you have to
purist.
I'm saying fundamentally this concept of like the brand can only be one of these things is just absolutely wrong.
You're
wrong. Has to
way.
Be all
luxury
of these
products.
things.
No, luxury products can never leave. Like if Gucci made a bag
wrong.
no luxury product makes an everyday bag where it's
this
like,
isn't
oh,
a
by the
luxury
way,
product.
this is. I would absolutely argue Liquid Death is a luxury product, 100% luxury product.
Would they agree with that?
Absolutely. What? How else would you classify it? Is Liquid Death better than other waters? Like, is 100%. It a utility product?
No,
there's no way it's not a luxury product.
It's luxury in some way, but it's not in the same part as Gucci. Like it's not like that. It's
brand
not
identity.
Even close. It's a $2-3 product.
No, but I'm not. Luxury doesn't have to be expensive. Luxury just has to be, again, a function of status, and a function of status is scarcity. And so people that spend the money for this product or have a particular thing, they will go out of their way to get Liquid Death so people know I'm cool. Versus like you see everybody, if here's the kind of paradox and the conundrum. If Liquid Death got super, super popular, their brand equity would go down.
I'm saying, I agree with you, by the way. I'm saying though, that if I want to argue that Liquid Death's brand is valuable, not because of it being like edgy tattooed dudes, but it's powerful because it's comical. And the thing I said before, if I see someone consuming Liquid Death, holding Liquid Death, wearing Liquid Death branding, is that that is a person with a sense of humor. Then that if that's the luxury, if that's the thing about the brand, then I think this falls into that as well. And so does anything else that they do that revolves around comedy. Like,
yeah, they do a lot of funny videos that have like Steve-O and Bert Kreischer, which are in line with their brand. But one test that I like to do is is this right for their brand? Is to think, is there a better brand where this fits much better? And so, and coming from the agency world, I suspect, because I know that this happens, is that an agency will pitch like Powerade or Gatorade an idea, like a combine and all this other stuff, and that will get shot down or whatever. And then some other brand comes along and they have this like pitch in the can, and it's like, oh, they're also water. And I think that I don't know, but I feel like that's what's going on here, because this is a flawless execution for a Powerade or another brand that's like that.
And to build on,
It's dumb. It's dumb if they do
No,
that.
I think to Jess's point too, they didn't go hard enough in the paint on the parody. Like this is like a good looking buttoned up guy. Like they needed like a fat guy that was out of shape. His shirt's untucked. Like it's just so off brand to have this clean, like he looks great. He's
and this
fit.
whole thing,
He looks
this is like
he's
a
having his
real
life together.
combine.
Never
There's
heard
no
of
jokes here.
some Slayer before. Like I don't know.
It's
just feels off for me.
appealing to, and that's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
The combine stuff's good, but there's not one tattoo on any of these people.
They're appealing to
I
people
almost
that like
wish it-
sports.
I
and
wish
don't
it was
humor.
like a bunch of tattooed people in the combine.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That have no clue what a sports is.
They're trying to expand their brand so that they don't only align with tattooed, pierced people. That's what they're trying to expand the brand to.
I don't think it should be tattooed people, but I do think it needs to lean harder into the parody.
Let me give you an example.
I think you were both right.
Let me give you an example. We did that. We had this exact problem with Lone River Ranch water. Everyone's like, the brand is a hard seltzer for cowboys. Okay. But it's a delicious drink that anyone can enjoy. So I need to make sure that we don't just show only cowboys. Yes, the brand is very much about that rugged thing, but we also need to show that you can be a city slicker and consume this beverage with your friends in an apartment. That you have to make it, otherwise it's completely unapproachable and you're self-selecting poorly to make your audience smaller. And they're doing the opposite of that. They're expanding their reach by doing this.
Barry, I agree with you, except I think they need to bring, I think Liquid Death is cool. It is luxury. It is status. They're not bringing the status in. They can bring the status to sports. They can bring the cool to sports. But what they have like, this ain't it,
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not about, it's not about luxury. Like I'm a smart water consumer. I pay a lot of money. And to me, if I'm drinking a smart water, which I love,
it's not working.
Okay.
Really?
That is a status symbol for something else. That is a status
Smart
symbol.
water is?
You could be drinking Fiji. You can be drinking Voss. Those are status symbols of like luxury and class. This is a status symbol of comedy. You're saying you're an alternative. You're into alternative things if you like Liquid Death. You're not saying necessarily I'm richer or more luxurious. You're saying I am more clever. I am more interesting. I am funnier. That is what Liquid Death is offering. And this fundamentally supports that, like 100%.
I'm also wondering if it's just the wrong crowd to go for. It's like, to me, it's like, why are you going for sports? Sports people are not funny.
But there are if that's true, then that's so not true. Like there's so many shows about comedy and sport. Like,
we're gonna get bad comments.
By the way, this is the most fired up I've been on this show.
Yeah, this
me too. You bring it out of me, Barry.
I am really pumped about this because this to me is that fundamental brand like battle and core is like, do we stick to who our brand is, or do we pander and cater to build a broader audience? And that's fundamentally what they're doing, and they're doing it well.
Well, I would argue, like, if you do want to expand, there has to be some sort of through line connecting your original audience to that expansion audience.
Comedy and
that's
water.
not a through line. It's not.
I don't know.
I'm with
I think
Jess
it
on
has
this.
to be stronger. I think it has to be. I mean, to me, I get what you're saying. There is like that. There is like an alternative person at everybody's core, I think, and that maybe they can try, that they're trying to tap into. And it's like, maybe if I'm an NFL person, I am thinking, oh, but I also listen to this music when I work out or whatever it is. And I think it has to be a stronger through line. I agree with you, Ike. And honestly, I think the original video is too clever for social. It's too,
yes.
If it happens at the end, I don't know. It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Agreed. If someone is that has the choice to skip that video, they probably would. I 100% agree. But if that was shown somewhere else where it was where they had to keep watching it, that's an incredible ad. That's a great ad.
To be fair, I think it was a companion or like an ancillary onto the longer form that Jess showed us. So that makes a lot more sense. There's a lot more cohesiveness in that. But I don't know. I gotta go with Jess on this one, Barry. I always love your takes, but I think that the through line was just not there enough, and there was It does, now that you put that in my head, Jess, it does feel like a really awesome sussed out concept that got like Gatorade was like, nah, that's not enough for us.
Everybody
like,
passed.
hey,
I mean,
you know what we could do. And, like, it's just because it was executed well.
At the end of the day, what it just feels like to me is they got a lot of money and they had to put it somewhere, and maybe not every idea is an amazing idea, and it just got executed.
And analytics wise, this is probably the combine and everything, at least probably like $400,000 or something. The video has twice as many comments as our last Adtopsy video. So just FYI.
Ooh, we're coming up big, Adtopsy.
Zing.
So
I know
sponsor us, Liquid Death. Sponsor us, Liquid Death.
Come on, Sticks. Come on, Sticks.
Jess, I just want to make sure you saw the thing I messaged you in Slack, this Liquid Death video, because I mentioned it earlier at the beginning of this talking about Liquid Death. They did do a taste test video, and it is, if we have the time, worth showing here.
Pepsi challenge style?
But yes, Pepsi challenge, so blindfolded.
Next episode.
Yeah, we got to save something for to come back. But this was an excellent episode with a lot of different things. I think our show is, personally, I think it's great. I
couldn't agree more, Jess.
Content that's fun and entertaining, and what a great group of people we have going on here.
Can I give you a little feedback, Jess? I think you need a little more sparkle.
A little more zing, a little more pep.
Just kidding.
I gotta
subscribe,
tell you,
I need to do some
smash the subscribe button. It feels a bit like the View for DTC. I'm here for it.
And Barry has ascended. Here
View with Barry.
How are you doing that? Are you literally? That's amazing.
I
know. Oh, you cheater.